What's up, Instagram? Y'all come on in here and get this late night teaching. Woo! Mm. Teaching. Woo. Okay. What's up, everybody? I'm gonna take my glasses off because that light, although it is great, it is bright. What is up, everybody? It is your girl, Kimberly Janelle, the money coach, your new money coach. I specialize in helping entrepreneurs create an audit-proof business. Wherever you are, go ahead and type in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm gonna get in and get out tonight. Say hey when you drop in. I love speaking to people. And it's just how I was raised, that you speak when you walk in a room. So hey, 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 hey. Listen, I wanted to come talk to you tonight about something that I kind of talked about in my workshop that I taught earlier this week. For those of you that, hey Pooh, those of you that have been following me, been paying attention, I did a workshop this week on write-offs. And one of the posts that I made, hey Francis, one of the posts that I made said that it's not enough that you keep your receipts and your invoices. There's one step further that you have to go. It's not enough that you have narrowed it down and you only use one bank account. Like there's one more step that you have to do. It's not enough that you, excuse me, it's not enough. There's another step that you have to take. And so tonight I want to talk to you about why keeping your receipts and your invoices, your paper, is not enough. Now, I first want to tell you, congratulations, you are amongst a small number of entrepreneurs who are doing that thing, who are taking that step. There's so many people who feel like, well, if I use my business bank account and I use all my transactions in that bank account, that's enough. That absolutely is not. Okay. Congratulations that you are using a business bank account. Proud of you. Congratulations that you are not paying your personal expenses out of that business account. I'm proud of you. That's great. That's not enough. If the IRS wanted to challenge any expenses that you claim, they're not going to sort through your bank statements. They're not going to sift through your credit card statements. They're not going to do it. And I don't care what they used to do. I had a lady that was arguing with me that, no, because I remember a while ago, they just told me I could send in my statements, my bank statements. Ma'am, how long ago was that? She was like 19, point taken. That's the point. That's the point. 19, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear nothing about what they used to do. While we all are chasing the bag, the IRS is chasing the bag too, okay? It is in their strategic plan for the next 10 years to fill in the gap in their bottom line. They understand that they are missing out on money for a multitude of reasons. Number one, people don't file. So it's in their strategic plan to go after the non-filers. If you have not filed tax returns in 2 or more years, you are on their radar. You may not hear from them today. You may not hear from them next month, but you are on their radar, okay? They trying to chase the bag too. They know they have people out there that have not filed. They coming after y'all. And since the pandemic, there have been a multitude of businesses that have been started. And y'all know that to be true. The PPP, you need to take that $600. You need to open up your LLC. Everybody was talking about get you a LLC, get you a LLC, get you a LLC. Okay. That's part of the reason why FinCEN adopted the BOI report, because they want to know who these people are that own all these LLCs that have come onto, that have surfaced. Okay. There's a reason for everything, y'all. And I hope that y'all tap in and pay attention. Because there have been a surge of LLCs in the last 5 years, they are going to come and hit every single one of them. And you need to know that the IRS works on CP time. So this is 2024. You should have already done your 2023 tax return. If you got a letter from the IRS today, it's not going to be about your 23 tax return. It's going to be about your 2020 tax return. Hey, Francis, we seen some expenses, and we don't know that they line up with what we have. Can you provide documentation? They actually are going to use the word, can you substantiate? Can you prove your 3 largest expenses on your tax return? And they're not going to take bank statements for you to do that. Okay. Hey, Candace. So if you have not gotten some from the IRS, you will get something from the IRS if you have an LLC. It's coming. They're trying to validate whether these are true businesses, number one, and number two, if you are who you say you are. Okay. So it's not enough that you are using a bank account for all your business activities. Congratulations, that's great, but that's not enough. Okay. It's not enough that you're using one credit card only for your business stuff. Even if the credit card is in your personal name, you still can use that personal credit card for business expenditures, and it's okay. But that's not enough. Okay. It's also not enough that you keep receipts for every purchase. That in and of itself is not enough. There's one step more that you have to do. Okay. In every one of these instances, there's one particular thing that you have to do to solidify yourself as a business. Every business has a record keeping system, i.e., bookkeeping software. If you are not connected to some type of software, QuickBooks, Xero, FreshBooks, something like that, every business, and this is straight from the IRS code, it says one of the ways that they determine whether it's a business or hobby is if you are carrying on in the manner like a business, which means having complete and accurate books. How do you have complete and accurate books? You got to have a bookkeeping system. Okay. So it's not enough that you're using one bank account and all your transactions are going in and out of there if you don't have a record keeping system. It's not enough. Hey, vet, it's not enough. I can't wait for you to tell me how my husband clown, because I already know. It's not enough for you to use one business credit card if it's not connected to a record keeping system. I missed y'all too. Okay, that's not enough. It's not enough that you don't use your business bank account to pay for your personal expenses and expenditures. That's great, but that's not enough. Okay. Let my cousin be great. That's not enough. And it's not enough that if you keep your receipts, you keep your invoices, that's not enough. And I'm going to tell you why it's not enough, okay? I got a call a couple weeks ago, and this is not the first time that I had this call. I got a call a couple weeks ago, and the girl said, she said, I think I need a CPA. Are you a CPA? I said, well, depending on what you're trying to do, you probably don't need a CPA. But what's going on? She says, well, I haven't filed my taxes yet. And I don't know how I'm going to do it because my office flooded. Now, she prided herself in keeping all of her paperwork, all of her receipts, all of her invoices, everything. She had everything. But her office flooded. Okay? Her office flooded. So what are you going to do in the case where you keep receipts, you keep your invoices, you keep documentation, and you got it in the accordion file, you got folders, you got whatever. But what happens when there's natural disaster and those documents are damaged? Then you got to go through the process of trying to recreate your year. And that can be costly. Just to go back to the conversation, I said, well, you don't need a CPA for that. You need somebody to help you recreate your year. And I can do that, but it's going to cost you. Okay. But guess what would have happened, or guess what could have helped her if she would have just went one step further? You have to have a record-keeping system. Now, let me show you how this works. QuickBooks. And I'm always going to talk about QuickBooks because I've worked with QuickBooks for over a decade, and that's just my jam, okay? In fact, over 90% of finance professionals use QuickBooks. And so if you have not adopted a record-keeping system, but you have plans to outsource that work, then you probably should start in a system that most finance professionals are using so that you can make that exchange really easy and inexpensive for you. If you start out in one of these free, Xero, Wave, FreshBooks, whatever, and you ready to, excuse me, hand off the bookkeeping piece of your business, as a finance professional, I'm going to tell you that your FreshBooks account does not transfer into QuickBooks. So I'm going to have to export your stuff, import your stuff, verify that everything came over, That's going to be a lot of my time, and that's going to be some money for you. It's going to be an investment. It's going to cost you some money, okay? It's going to cost you some money. So if you have not created a record-keeping system, if you've not subscribed to one, you need to get one, all right? But let me tell you what happens when you keep your receipts, when you go down to using only one bank account for your business transactions. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you have, okay? It doesn't matter if you registered as an LLC or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you are operating in a space where you are taking money for services and or products, you are a business. The IRS says that you don't have to file or register at all. You can just say, you know what? I think I'm going to be a boom, 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 and sell boom, 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 and you're in business. Now, from that moment, you need to do the things that you can to separate you, the person, from you, the business. And it can be small things. It can be simple things. Sole proprietors need to get a different bank account for their business money to come into and for them to pay their expenses out of. It doesn't have to be a business account. Sole proprietors can just open up a second checking account. A sole proprietor can just simply open up a savings account. Doesn't have to be a business account, but you absolutely should separate your money. Your business money and your personal money should never play in the same account. People pay you in your personal account. That shouldn't happen. People pay your invoices and it go into your personal account. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. It should never happen. It should never happen. Okay? When you subscribe to a record-keeping system, let me go back to this. So QuickBooks. QuickBooks has an app that you can download onto your phone. And in that app, you can take pictures of your receipts. So when you go get gas and you standing in line to get a receipt, first of all, you should always get a receipt when you get gas. You open up your app and open up the camera. You pay for your gas. They give you your receipt. You slide over to the next window, take a picture of that receipt. QuickBooks is going to store it in the cloud for you so they can never be lost. So the girl who reached out to me saying her office got flooded and all of her paperwork got destroyed would have never been in that predicament had she subscribed to a record-keeping system, took a picture of all of her receipts and her invoices and uploaded them to the cloud. It would have been as simple as, man, all these papers got destroyed. Let me pull down this report out of QuickBooks so that I can recreate my year. How much cheaper would that have been for her? How secure would she be in knowing that she has an audit-proof business because she got copies of receipts stored in a space that they can never be destroyed? Okay? Are y'all tracking with me? Is that making sense? You got to do more than just keep receipts. You got to do more than just have a separate bank account. You got to do more. You got to do more than that. It's just one more step that you got to take when it comes to solidifying your business as a business. Now, I'm going to be honest, for those of you that sitting thinking like, man, that's a whole lot of work. I promise you, there's money that you're missing out on by not taking this one step to solidify the strength of your business, because you can't prove it. You only worth what you can prove. And if there's people that's got a money pot and they want to give some money away, and they say, tell me how much money you made last year in your business, you can't prove it. You can't prove it. You don't have no profit and loss statement. You don't have no record keeping system. You got money coming to you from Cash App and from Zelle and from Venmo, and I gotta look at my PayPal, and I gotta check and see which ones was no, I gotta subtract my child support, and I gotta subtract. You got too much going on. You got too much going on. And you won't take the one step. Like, it's literally one step. It's literally one step. You more worried about losing business. Well, I don't want to make it complicated for people to do business with me. It's only complicated if you make it complicated. If you tell somebody, hey, I'm trying to, I'm incorporating some stuff to get my business in order, to position myself to be able to get funding, to position myself to get grants, to position myself to whatever, this is how you got to pay me now. And you more worried about making people mad than positioning yourself. I'm just going to speak for me and say that my priority is not somebody else's feelings. If they can't accommodate, or if they can't, maybe we don't need to do business. Because here's the thing. You are only worth what you can prove, and so am I. Okay? And so if I set up systems so that all my money comes into one place, so that I can prove that I made $50,000 in my business last year, so that I can prove that I have X amount of regular customers, so that I can prove that my expenses were blah, blah, blah. If I put systems in place and they inconvenience you, even though they're pretty convenient, okay? I'm gonna just give you this little tidbit. I use Stripe, STRIPE.com. And Stripe allows me to create payment links so that when you click on my link, you have 4 or 5 different ways that you can choose to pay me. If you want to use Google Pay, great. If you want to use Apple Pay, great. If you want to use your Cash App to pay me, great. If you want to use your debit card to pay me, great. If you want to put your routing number and account number in to pay me, then great. And if all those options inconvenience you from doing business with me, then maybe we ain't supposed to do business together. Because I need to be able to provide documentation to show that I'm a legit business, that I'm taking money for services, and that I'm reporting it all, that I'm capturing it all, right? And some of you are missing out on business because you don't have any systems in place for a business person like me to pay you with my business debit card. Do you know how annoying it is? And I said this last night, I'm gonna say it again, I'm gonna get off here. Do you know how annoying it is as a business owner? And I see people that I wanna patronize. I'm like, oh man, he do some good work. I'm gonna see if he can do X, Y, and Z. And then I reach out, I'm like, hey, I wanna do blah, blah, blah. Okay, you got Cash at me. Nope. Yeah, I only take Cash App and Venmo. I don't even have no Venmo account. First of all, I don't have a Venmo account. Second of all, my business bank account don't have a Venmo. I don't have a Venmo option on my business bank account. So how am I going to spend money for my business out of my business bank account, but you only take Cash App? I can't do business with you. And you're missing out on money by not having a way for other business owners to patronize you without having to move money out of my business account into my personal account so that I can Cash App you. And then if I choose to do that, you don't have no way to send me no receipt. So not only do I not get to take it out of my business bank account, I also can't get no receipt from you. So then how do I prove that my expenditures were for business if you ain't set up to operate as a business? Come on. Come on, man. You can't give me no receipt. You can't print out no invoice. But you talking about your business. We got to get this stuff. We got to get this stuff together. I just seen a side profile of this ponytail child. It's looking a hot mess, but y'all getting what I'm putting down? That's all that's important. Is, are you getting what I'm putting down? Is it making sense to you? You got to do more than keep your receipts. You got to do more than just use one bank account. You got to do more than not commingle your funds. And again, all of those things are great. That's right. The comment says, I learned quickly to have every way possible for patrons to pay. You absolutely right. You absolutely right. I had a client that told me that he's a cash business. If you want to patronize his business, you got to bring cash. And I know there's some other businesses who do that, and that's fine if that's, the business model that they want to choose for a multitude of reasons. Debit card or transaction fees. People are trying to avoid transaction fees, even though that's a business expense. Whatever the fee is that you pay to do business, whether it's a transaction fee, whether it's a bank fee, whether it's a NSF fee, it doesn't matter what the fee is. It's an expense to your business. You get to write it off. You get the money back at any rate. He went to a festival to sell and had cash only on his table. And it wasn't until he realized he probably missed about $300 in sales before he figured out he needed to do something else. You have to make it easy to do business with you. Whether it's a personal client or somebody that has a business. If I have a business and I'm patronizing you, I want to be able to use my business debit card. If it's for my business, I want to pay for it out of my business account. And I want a receipt. I want something from your side to validate the line item that's in my QuickBooks account. So let me give you some takeaways, because I ain't just here to beat y'all up verbally and not give you some takeaways. First thing, if you don't have a system, and maybe you're not doing enough business where you feel like you need to have a system, totally fine. But you need to go to canva.com, Canva, CANVA.com, and create a template that will allow you to make receipts for people. Okay? I don't care if I buy a $35 bracelet. I don't care what it is. You should, in exchange for my money, you should give me product and or service and a receipt. Okay? Go to canva.com. Use a template, make a receipt. Go to canva.com, type in invoice. You can create invoices and they're not that hard. Heck, you can go to Google Forms, Google Sheets. They got templates for receipts and invoices. Use those things if you don't want to invest into an actual system. But I'm going to push you and say that if you saying that you in business, if you have a business, if you telling people you got a business, then you need to invest in a business. And that means that you need to have a system. Stripe.com does not cost you anything until you make a sale. And even then, the fee for the service is so minimal that it shouldn't keep you from starting to use a system. For example, I have $20 products, not products. We use Stripe when for our comedy company. And when tickets are $20, when tickets are $20, Stripe gives me $19.82. and they keep 18 cents. I don't think 18 cents is much to pay to have a professional system that brings all your money in one way and it's easy for you to track. And then even in that system, you can go to the transaction and there's an option for you to send a receipt because your clients have to put in their name, their email address. So you can email them a receipt. We got to start showing up as businesses. We got to start presenting ourselves as businesses. We got to start putting the things in place that make us look like a business so that we don't miss out on opportunities. You miss out on money opportunities because you don't have this back end stuff together. And I'm going to help y'all. I'm going to help get y'all together. Okay. So if you don't want to invest in no system, then fine. Google Sheets, Google Forms, Google Docs, Canva.com. Clearly, I need some more lip gloss because I'm struggling to get some out here. Canva.com to create some invoices, some receipts for the people who buy from you. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is that you need to, once you set up Stripe, Stripe.com, and you set up those payment links, you need to make sure that your business bank account is connected to a record-keeping system, i.e. QuickBooks. Okay? I'm not going to talk about any other system. There's plenty of them out there. FreshBooks, Xero, Wave. Some of those are free, and that is what it is. But you paying $15 a month for QuickBooks to have a system on your computer and to have an app on your phone that not only allows you to take pictures of your receipts so you're never in that situation, but it also has a GPS tracking component so that you can track your mileage, so you can stop leaving that money on the table every year. I'll have to talk about that another time, but y'all leave so much money on the table with all the miles that y'all driving, doing these vending events and going and servicing clients, and you never keep your mileage, and y'all leaving 56 cents for every mile that you drive in your business. And I want you just, I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that in numbers, 56 cents per mile. Let's just say you drove 1,000 miles, 56 cents. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's $5,600. Did I do that right? 56, boom, 1, 2, 3, 560. I can't even do the math. My brain is going crazy. I'm about to do it real quick because I feel like I'm right. 0.56. 5, 6 times 1. 560. Okay, I know you moved the decimal. My brain wasn't working right. 56 cents. It's 56.5 cents. It ain't even 56 cents. And I think it's going up for 2024. I don't know yet. I ain't done my update. That's right, Auntie. $560. If you can afford to leave $560 on the table, like if it ain't that big of a deal to you, then we ain't in the same league, and I'm okay with that. I ain't trying to leave not a penny on the table. If I'm allowed to have that money, I'm not trying to leave any of it on the table. None of it. Auntie said you can pay me in cowrie shells if you need to, and you can get a receipt. Square will send a receipt to email or text. I love that. Square absolutely will too. Now, the only thing I know for certain about Square, that Stripe does not do. Square will allow you to enter in cash sales that you have. Stripe does not allow you to do that. But here's the only caveat with entering in cash sales in Square. If you enter in cash sales, then it will deposit that cash into your bank account. But then when you take that actual cash from those sales and put it in the bank account, it counts it twice. Okay? So you got to have a system for how you're going to make sure that those cash sales in Square are not accounted for twice in your record keeping. Okay? the best way, well, let me not say that. Because I use Stripe and we don't do cash sales in Stripe, I literally just take the money to the bank. You just got to do a deposit. You just got to deposit the money. And I don't care if you deposit the money so that it hits the transaction in your bank account, so that it connects with QuickBooks and shows that you actually made the money, and then take the money right back out. I don't care if that's what you do. But if you make any money in cash and it never hits your business bank account and your QuickBooks record keeping system, you never made the money. It don't exist. The sales don't exist. The sales don't exist. If it don't hit your business bank account, which should be connected to your record keeping system, it's never accounted for as income. It doesn't exist. And listen, this ain't to throw you under the bus or you know, make you feel bad or nothing. I've done it for so long until I had a red flag. Like I had a moment like, wait a minute, dummy. You just made this money and then you took this cash and you went to the grocery store. You went to the grocery store, you put gas in your car. A week later, I'm not going to remember I made this money. And if it never touches my business bank account, then the money was never made. Okay? I hope this making sense. I hope this making sense. So I want to give us a head start in 2025. I want to give us a head start in getting our businesses together so that we can do and be who we are supposed to be. We got to get our business bank accounts together. We got to make sure that our record keeping is up to speed, up to date, is accurate. We got to know what we can keep track of. There's so many different things that are a write-off depending on what type of industry that you are in. If you missed it, I did a workshop earlier this week. It was a write-off workshop. I usually do those in strategy sessions with people, 60 minutes. I record it and I go over your business, top to bottom, front to back. And that usually is $250 investment. And I've had many people pay it with no problem because I'm very thorough in what I give to them. But the people who opted into the workshop in earlier this week, the people who opted into that write-offs workshop kind of got a similar feel because I asked them to tell me what industries they were in. And so as I was teaching, I was able to interject some things specifically to their industry. So if you are not sure that you're capturing everything, not sure what to keep track of in regards to write-offs, that workshop is available. It is $55 until Sunday. And it's only $55 because I am vending at a conference on Friday. And it's kind of a special that I'm going to run for that conference. And then after Sunday, it's going to be $97. So if you want it, you should get it while it's $55. I used to do that all the time, AT. I would get paid in cash and then I would go spend it before I even be, and it didn't even, I don't even know why. And this is crazy. I'm in the industry and I do bookkeeping and I've done all of that, but it was not occurring to me that every time somebody paid me in cash and I did not let it hit my account, that I was cheating myself at the end of the year because that income would never show up anywhere. I spent it. And I can do that. I can spend the money because it's mine. The LLC, the profit that's left over at the end of the year bleeds over into my personal income. So I can spend the money if that's what I choose. The challenge with that is that you cheat yourself from really understanding how profitable your business has been for the full year because that money never gets into the line item of income. Okay? Terry said your personal and business accounts need to be separate and hire a bookkeeper, please. Yes, Terry. But here's the thing. I'm gonna stand on my soapbox on this, Terry. I believe that every entrepreneur needs to start doing their own books from the very beginning. You need to have an understanding of what your chart of accounts need to look like. You need to have an understanding of what it looks like when your books are done. You need to have an understanding of how to pull your own profit and loss statements. You need to have a basic understanding of QuickBooks before you outsource it to somebody else. And I'm going to tell you why. I feel like I got a story for everything. I had a associate of mine, a girlfriend of mine, call me. She's like, Kimberly, you are not going to believe what happened. Now, it is custom for us in the finance profession or industry, if you are looking for a bookkeeper, we want to see your books. We will say, add us onto your account. Let us look around. We need to see how many transactions you do every month. We need to see, because we need to know how much work is going to be for us before we quote you a price. Okay. So my girlfriend's on a call with this lady and she's like, yeah, I just need a new person. My last person just kind of started ghosting me, but before she ghosted me, I don't really feel like we meshed well. And I don't feel like she's answering my questions, and I still was confused about a lot of things. And so my girlfriend is looking through her QuickBooks account for the whole year of 2022. And in 23, she's looking at 23 stuff and all 22. She said, yeah, my 22 is good. I need somebody to do my 23, starting with this month. And my girlfriend says, so you've been paying these people, let me be very generic. She said, no, I've been paying a company. They did my 2022 and they've been doing my 2023 up to this point. I just think I need somebody else. And my girlfriend is looking in their books. Y'all, whoever she paid for all of 2022 did not do her bookkeeping. And they went so far as to create bogus reports every month. They sent her a profit and loss. They sent her, I don't know what all they sent her. I know they sent her a profit and loss every month. This woman was paying them $450 a month to do her books. And my girlfriend is looking through her books. Not only did the company not do her books all of 2022, they had not done her books any of 2023. And my girlfriend said, so did you claim the income and stuff on your taxes for 22? She said, yeah, they gave me a, what's it called? A profit and loss, a P&L. My girlfriend says, yeah, they gave me a form that had all my numbers on it. Y'all, you cannot create a profit and loss statement if you don't reconcile the books. If you don't do the bookkeeping and reconcile the books every month, the numbers are not going to be accurate. But you know why that happened to her? Because she had no clue of what it looked like when her books are done every month. She could not log into her QuickBooks account and know where to click to see that bookkeeper had done what she was supposed to do. So I am not a fan of entrepreneurs having a bookkeeper from the start. I'm not a fan. As an entrepreneur, you need to know what your record keeping system looks like. You need to be able to tell when they've categorized and classified everything and when they haven't. You need to be able to tell where your profit and loss statement come from. You need to know how to be able to pull it. Until you get to a space where you can afford to outsource that because your time costs more. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Entrepreneurs do not need a bookkeeper from the very beginning. You need to be in a space where somebody can teach you what your books are supposed to look like. Teach you what your books are supposed to look like. You need to be in a space where somebody can show you how your chart of accounts need to be set up. You need to be connected to a bookkeeper who has quarterly packages. So if you are kind of at the beginning of your business and maybe you don't have a whole bunch of transactions that you need to pay somebody every month, but you could pay somebody once a quarter to go back for those 3 months, check your work, or do the bookkeeping for the quarter, because it's not going to be very much. When you pick those quarterly packages, it's a couple $100 a month. And that's a worthy investment for a professional to go in and make sure that your books are good and can show you a few things. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan of entrepreneurs starting out with a bookkeeper, unless it's a bookkeeper who's going to teach you along the way. I'm not a fan. And you got to get with the right bookkeeper, because most bookkeepers don't want to teach you because they think that takes business away from them. I find the opposite, that the more you educate the client, then the better they feel that they can trust you with their business. And when they are ready to be hands off, they know they ain't got to worry about you because you took too much time to teach them where everything is and how you can tell and da da da. that you ain't about to be hiding nothing from them. I'm showing you where your money is, how you can tell where it's at, how to set your chart. I'm showing you all these things. Then you think I'm gonna go and start robbing you or moving money or do whatever? I can't do that because I done showed you how to be able to tell if crazy stuff is happening in your account, right? So, if you are an entrepreneur that's just kind of getting started, or you looking for a bookkeeper, I have a bookkeeper who does have those quarterly packages. Maybe you don't have a whole lot going on and you just need somebody every quarter to kind of look at what's going on to do your books. Also, okay, this is gonna keep me on here way too long. Estimated quarterly payments. We need to talk about that, but not tonight because it's getting late. Not tonight. We getting late. It's getting late. Maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow. If you are somebody who needs a bookkeeper to maybe look at your stuff every quarter, I got somebody. Okay, I got you. Inbox me, let me know. We can make the connection. If you are somebody who has a bookkeeper, but you know, and please believe there's 2 sides, 3 sides to every story. When clients come to me and they're like, yeah, my bookkeeper, I'm not thinking about the bookkeeper. I'm thinking, okay, so what were you not doing? Because most times when clients have issues and they're leaving from one bookkeeper to the next or professional to the next, whether it's bookkeeping or tax, and they got a whole bunch to say about that professional, my mind is like, okay, but what were you compliant? Like, you don't like that bookkeeper no more. Why? Because she was making you stay in the guidelines. You don't like that tax person because they won't write off what you want them to do, because they won't let you claim that kid that ain't yours and ain't got nothing to do with you. So, yeah. All right. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it makes sense. You got to do more than keep the receipts, y'all. You got to do more than use a separate bank account. You got to do more than not commingling your funds. You got to get a record keeping system that helps you to add that stuff to the cloud so that if there's disaster, or let's say it don't even have to be a disaster. Let's say you just haven't done well with keeping up with stuff. Taking your receipts and adding it to the cloud will help you to reconstruct your year. It just will. Okay. I hope this has been helpful. I'm going live tomorrow. I already know what I'm going to talk about. And I hope you join me here. I don't know when it's going to happen. But your girl going to be on here. I got some studying to do. I got a study schedule that I got to get back on. Because I've been sick, I kind of got off my schedule, but I'm gonna come to you again tomorrow live. I already know what I'm going to talk about. And I'm gonna help y'all get y'all businesses together. I have been sleeping on my potential for way too long, and I'm woke now. And so if you want to get your business where it needs to be, you know how to show up in the business. You know, you got the skills, you got the skill set, you know how to put the things together, but what you don't know is the stuff on the backside, and what you don't know that you don't know can hurt you. Okay. So this has been your girl, your money coach, Kimberly Janelle, with the tip tonight. I hope it has been helpful, and I will see y'all when I see y'all. All right. Have a good night.